today we are actually going to, we're really excited. One of the things that we want to do is, let me ask you, first of all, let me think so far, Samantha and Logan and Boris, because I get to see your faces. Thank you for that. So much appreciated to you guys. And anybody who is out there who could put on their camera, we would love to see you guys. We know sometimes you might just be, you know, in the middle of getting out of the shower, or, you know, indisposed, or, you know, having a bad hair day. So we get it. But if you can, we'd love to see your faces. We'd love to get the interaction going. We actually would like to even get your feedback, because, you know, even though we're doing a training, they say teaching is learning. So we would love to learn from you guys. One of the things, just a little introduction about me and my team. I'm Bobby's brother, so I have the privilege of, being the in-house lender. Me and Bobby decided, I helped Bobby in the beginning set up the whole London Foster platform, and of course he's the brainchild of everything. But I've helped him support. And in more recent years, I've really kind of specialized in what was my calling, 20 years ago, which is the mortgage business. And we thought, what better to just be able to bring, complete support, a 360 experience to all the realtors. Because one of the things at London Foster that we really try to push is, your brand. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure everybody can admit London Foster, it's a fantastic brand to piggyback on, but what's more important than that is your brand. So we're here to help you do that, where, not only are you getting 100% of your commission, but you're at will to do the things you want that's going to drive your business. And each and every one of us, at the end of the day, we're all providing the same service. We're all doing the same stuff. It's just, what's going to make us unique and what's going to make us different. So we really care about your brand and your integrity. So whether you use, like as Mimo said, you can use all the vendors out there. We really want you to win. We want you to build your business. If you use our company, hey, we'd love that just as much as the next guy. But at the end of the day, we're here to support you. So I want you guys to know that. I say this on every call. When the way you look at the Mahalati team, we want you to look at us as an extension of your team, because at the end of the day, we're here to what creates one's brand. When you get more business, when people are starting to talk about you, when people say, hey, did you hear about the Logan team, or about the NALO team, or whoever it is that however you're branding yourself. And if we can be a part of that, that's what our goal is at the end of the day. Okay. So, and just to kind of segue, it's just a perfect segue about what today's training is. It's about how can we get more referrals? Because the more referrals we get, ultimately, as a result of our brand, it's going to grow our business. And the more you grow your business, you can scale, you can grow your team. And, it just winning begets winning. So that's really, really what our goal is. Just a little. Now, my daughter, who's on the line, and she is an aspiring loan officer, a junior loan officer. And she's probably gonna be a little embarrassed me telling you about it, tell everybody about this, but she's an aspire. She's went to Montclair, and she's really she's fantastic at digital media marketing. So she gets all the credit for putting all this stuff together. And she said, yeah, Dad, we got to talk about you and the family. So I said, okay, let's do it. I usually don't like to talk about me. I'm a brass tacks, get right to the business content. But anyway, just a little about me. 4 beautiful children, a wife who's also in the business with us. We are, like I said, the in-house London Foster lender. And we both, me and my wife, who's my loan partner, has been in the business for about 20 years. What's nice is she speaks fluent Spanish to all the Spanish clients. Just FYI, yo hablo poquito español, but not enough to.
Y yo hablo un poquito más español.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a little bit about us. If we move to the next slide.
So I'll
Yeah.
take it away from here,
Yeah,
Pops.
so, well, before you do, so just so you guys know, this is going to be my daughter's first training. So she's excited, but also nervous, so cut her some slack. But Mandana, take it away. I'm going to also be chiming in with some of the experiences I have as well. So go ahead, Mandana.
Okay, awesome, guys. So before I go into this slide, I kind of want to touch on something that Joe / my pops said earlier, that learning is teaching is learning.
Mhm.
I think that's really important, and I think a good, you know, perspective to take from the opposite of that is learning is teaching. So not only by you being here and learning and listening to what we have to share about, our knowledge and experience with building referrals, not only is this an opportunity for you to learn, but this is an opportunity for you to learn and teach others. And when you extend yourself to teach other people, you build trust, whether it's with other coworkers, other agents, whether it's with other referral partners, or if it's with your own clients. So that's something just to keep in the back of your mind. That's great. So I commend everyone for coming today. Thank you so much. We're so happy to see all of you guys here. So the first thing I want to ask is, how many of the last 10 transactions that you've done, whether those 10 transactions have been in the last year, the last 2 years, how many of the last 10 transactions do you feel that you have earned the right to receive a referral? And put your answers in the chat, and feel free to be honest, whether it's 50% of them, 30% of them, all of them, maybe none. What do you guys think?
Let's get some feedback, guys.
London
And you know
Foster
what?
said all. Logan says 9. Anybody else have some feedback of how many you were? Yolanda said all. I love that. I love that. Now I want to ask
Donna, I'll tell you personally,
sure.
I'm getting the referral before I even meet the client.
Now
that's my entire storyline. That's awesome. My entire storyline. I'm getting a beautiful review. I'm getting a bottle of scotch, and I'm getting referrals.
Awesome. Absolutely. And that's the goal. That is the goal, to hopefully get all of your referrals before getting the client, before going to closing. Now, honestly, and there's no shame, there's no embarrassment. If you feel that you deserve all of the referrals, in reality, if you could give me a percentage, 100% being you're getting referrals from every client, every past customer, every referral partner, or 0% being I'm not really getting that much. How many would you say you're actually getting? If you could just give it a number. I'll give you an example. I do freelancing on the side with video production, content creating. And as much as I feel like I deserve all the referrals, I think I might be getting 1%. Out of the 10 that referrals I could be getting from the 10 transactions, I might be getting 1 or 2, or I might have been prior to learning these strategies. So what would you say?
And you know what, Mandana, that's actually really, you know how they always say it's all about how you question. That's actually the question. That's actually a fantastic question, which is how many of those 9 or 10 are you actually getting referrals from?
212.
Hey guys, put your answers in the chat. I'd love to 50%. Okay, great. Anybody else? At least 50. That's awesome. So my next question is, for those of us who feel like, we deserve all 100% of the referrals, but we're not getting as many, why aren't we getting them? That's the question. Why aren't we getting them? Because when we define the question, when we define the problem, we can define the solution. And it's not that you don't deserve the referrals. That's the mental switch that we all have to make in our minds, because we get very insecure. We overthink our little interactions, and we think, oh, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I did something wrong. Hey, maybe you did, but maybe you didn't. There's so many different circumstances that could have happened. But the important thing to remember is that it's not that we don't deserve them. We just have some fine tuning to do, right? So First thing I want to go over is the care model, which means creating a referral experience or creating a referable experience.
That office. Okay, look, you got Jonathan.
Hey, Mandan, I think you have to mute everybody because
I don't know if I have the ability to do that.
Jay-Z.
Anybody on
Guys, give me 1 second. Let me just look to see. And if I'm going to go ahead and try muting everybody, and then I'll unmute Mandana.
She's a
Thanks. Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Thanks, Memo. So the care model stands for creating a referable experience. But how do we do that? Especially if we think that we already are doing that. Is there something that we're not doing? Is there something that we're not keeping up with that's kind of hindering our ability to receive those referrals? Sorry, okay. Well, one of the things I want to talk about is providing a wow factor. Think about your favorite musician, your favorite artist, and what they do every time they release an album, or every time they release a music video, or every time they go and perform a new tour. They're not doing the same performances. Sure, they're performing the same songs. Sure, they're using the same vocal abilities every single time they perform, but what are they doing? They're finding those elements of surprises, those wild cannons of confetti at the end of the concert to surprise the attendants, right? They're shooting these incredible music videos with featured celebrities. I mean, think about the Super Bowl, right? I don't know how many of you guys watched the halftime Super Bowl. I'm sure all of you on the call were blown away with the throwback lineup, which was incredible, from Dr. Dre to Eminem. And for some of you who may know other artists, I don't know if you noticed, there was other surprise artists who attended, who like Anderson .Paak. His band was drumming for Eminem and Dr. Dre. A lot of people who know Anderson .Paak were completely shocked. They had no idea he was going to be part of the Super Bowl. That was that extra element of surprise to bring the older generation and the newer generation together. It was creative. It was thinking of the little things and going the extra mile. So how are we providing that wow factor, not only to our clients, which might sound a little strange because it's like, well, those are the people we get referral partners from, right? I'm sorry, that we get referrals from. But there's so many other people in our lives that can provide referrals. Think about the business that we're in. We're literally helping people in a stage of their life, right? That everyone has to go through. Everyone has to either rent or buy a home. Everyone. And if you are not in the position that you have to be responsible for going through that process, then you are a lucky person. But there comes a point in adulthood where you have to buy a home. Everyone has to do it. So though there's so many other ways to get referrals from other people, not only our clients, but our clients are a very important source to focus on.
That reminds me, Mandana, when you talk about there's so many people involved and in that one client that's actually looking to purchase, it reminds me of I heard it's that part of your brain called the reticular activator. Anybody with a show of hands, has anybody heard about that? The reticular activator, it sounds real technical. It's a part of your brain that the minute you become aware of something that of interest to you, you all of a sudden start to see it everywhere around you. For example, I remember, I'll never forget when the Acura MDX first came out, beautiful black. I had my eye on it for months. And you could barely, you could barely even see them because they were just coming out. And all of a sudden, I finally get the car, and I was so happy because it was like on a waiting list. I get it. And then all of a sudden, even before I got the car, I start seeing them everywhere. I start seeing, oh my God. And by the way, this was right when I became interested in it. I've never seen an MDX, an Acura MDX. The minute I realized I was actually going to get one, and I was so excited about it, and I was sold on it, I started seeing them every, here and there and everywhere. I'm like, where the hell are these MDXs coming out? I can't even get one, So that's that part of your mind that is aware once you become of interest in something. And when you're interested in not just a car or something you're looking to buy, but one of the biggest transactions of your life, plus it has to do with a lot of emotion, a lot more emotion goes into a house. Yeah, people's reticular activators are going to go off. So they're going to hear at the water cooler someone talking about a refinance or purchasing or selling their property, so these are this is what it reminds me of being aware and realizing all the people that you can bring into into your referrals. But go ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to come back to the reticular activator because that's something that I want to dive into a little more later in the presentation. But just going back to where we're at now, it's so important to recognize why referrals are so important. I know I haven't been in the business for as long as many of you have, but something that I, as a person with a production and marketing background, I find myself to be very psychoanalytical, right? I love to just kind of analyze people's strategies of how they approach their business. And this might not be as much of a thing with the older generations, but what I see with the younger generations, and it's not all, but most of the people I've seen is that they focus on leads. I need to make connections with lenders so that they'll buy my leads. I need to make connections with other people so that they will provide leads for me. I need to subscribe to this website, to that website, Zillow, to get more leads. And the difference between a lead and a referral is that a lead it's very cold, where a referral is warm. Just think about literally any business where that provides a service that you have been a part of. How often is it that you go and, for the ladies, how often is it that you go get your nails done and I'm talking about the ladies that are devoted to getting their nails done. And trust me, I know I'm one of them. How often is it that you just go to a random nail salon and go get your nails done? Now, if it's an emergency situation, you got a wedding in 24 hours, that's a different story, right? But if you're planning to get your nails done, you're going to go to your nail lady. And if your nail lady's not there, then you're going to wait till she comes back. Why? Because you have built a relationship with her, okay? And maybe your nail lady, like me, was referred to you by a family member. And I know if my grandma, who always has her nails just perfect, and I know if my grandma says Lynn at Cure Nail Salon is the one to go to, that's it. Everybody on my list is fired. I'm going to Lynn at Cure. And if Lynn at Cure is not available, then I'm waiting 2 weeks to get my nails done because I've built that trust. I've built that warmth. She knows my grandma, so she's going to feel a little more familiar with me. I'm going to feel a little familiar with her rather than just looking up nail salon open right now and popping in. Same thing happens with our business. The leads that are cold, yeah, there's possibility that, there'll be great experiences and you'll even close with them. But how much more impactful of an experience will it be, not only for you, but for the client if it's a referral, right? And it's important to remember that. Let me see. Sorry, guys, my thing's taking forever to change. So how can we create that experience with our clients that we have right now? It's making them the priority in the conversation, right? In the interactions, making the client feel important, appreciated, and always number one. When you're talking to a client, you always want to make the conversation about them, not yourselves. So we want to take the I away from the equation, right? We don't want to talk about ourselves. Oh, listen, John, I've been in the industry forever. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Listen, John, yes, was referred by his buddy who closed a deal with you, but he does not owe you his trust, right? We have to earn that trust. And how do we earn trust? How do you get trust from people? By allowing people to open up to you and allowing by other people allowing you to open up to them. That's how you build trust, right? And when you take the I away from the equation, it makes it about them. It makes them feel like, wow, this person's not just trying to get my business to make money from me. They actually care about my concerns for my property, about my questions about the process of buying a home, about my questions about financing. They care to know what my circumstance is so that they can best cater to my needs being the client's needs, right? So we want to let them talk so that we learn about their needs. And quite honestly, I hate to say it, but people don't care about you or what you have to say or what you do or how many awards you've won or how many deals you've closed or how many hands you've shaken with people in the industry who are doing big things. They don't care. They care about how they make you feel. I'm sorry, they care about how you make
How they feel.
Yeah, they care about how you make them feel. When they talk to you and they're calling you on a Monday at 9 o'clock on the dot in the morning to ask you an urgent question, might not be urgent to you, but it might be urgent to them. How are you handling that? How are you handling that phone call? Are you welcoming them with a warm, understanding tone? Are you kind of rushing them off the phone? People feel that. People feel energy and the energy that you give off. So are we being aware of the energy that we give off, even when we're tired as hell at 9 o'clock in the morning because we accidentally stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning binge watching our show? They're going to know that. They're not going to assume, oh, that person's tired. Oh, they're going to be like, damn, I thought that they were going to be a little more helpful. They've made it seem like they were going to be great. And they're kind of being a little cold to me. I don't feel comfortable buying a home with this person, the biggest investment of their lives. So we have to be aware of our tone and our approach. Moving forward, what is a successful transaction? How do we define that? Now, we define that as to have earned the right to ask and receive a referral before closing. Like Memo said, I mean, Memo beat us all to it. He does it before he even gets to the client. We're going to have to let him do the next training session.
He sure did. Yeah, well, Memo, I want to hear your strategies on how you pulled that one off, because that was,
listen,
man, before you even saying hello, you got a referral.
No, because you know the way I see it. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, we can very well.
No, what I was saying is that the way I see it, and I agree with everything Mandana is saying, I believe in myself as a brand. I don't believe myself as a salesperson. I don't believe in myself as I often say in trainings, I don't sell real estate. Unfortunately, I'm not that powerful. I can sell you pens. I've sold pharmaceuticals. I've sold computer parts. Real estate is not something you can sell. I can't manipulate the reality of the real estate. I can't change a 3-bedroom into a 6-bedroom. I can't lower the price 50%. I can't sell it to you in bulk. There's no way of me manipulate. Real estate sells itself. What I sell is my brand. What I sell is my expertise, and what I sell more than anything. And I think some realtors will disagree with me because I don't have all the answers. So what I sell is that I'm going to find it. I'm going to be the liaison and I'm going to find it. So what I always tell my clients, especially when I meet them, is listen, I'm going to try my darndest to win you over. We're going to find you an amazing investment, an amazing home. I'm going to make you really happy, but I need an amazing referral. I need an amazing reference. I need a beautiful entry to my blog. I need you to walk out of here and not refer to me as the realtor, but my realtor. Even the gift that I give when I finish my transaction, and I tell them, this is so that when every time that somebody says to you, do you know a realtor? No, I don't know a realtor. I know my realtor. And so that's kind of like the way I brainwash them is before we even start looking at properties, I'm like, listen, I'm here for the referral. I'm here for the reference. I'm here for the beautiful review on Zillow, et cetera, et cetera. So it's almost like you break them down to the point that when you do actually close for them, they're like, Memo, I know I promised you a nice referral. Memo, I know I promised you a nice reference. So it's kind of like, that's my strategy, at least, is that I work them down to the point that when I do give them an amazing service, they say, man, this guy was so great. Look at the gift he gave us. Which, by the way, if you guys want to know what the gift is, I give everybody a Nest thermostat. I buy them a beautiful beach bag with a London Foster logo on it, their last name on it, 2 bottles of Prosecco, and I put a Nest thermostat in it.
To remind him, when you work with Memo, things are gonna get hot because he's gonna make it happen.
No, I found that that's a really sensitive and positive gift to give people.
Very nice. Very
And I'll
nice.
tell you why. When you buy a house, I don't care if you spend $3 million or $65,000, you're broke. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. All of a sudden, your checking account went from $1 million to 100,000. And for somebody who has $1 million, they're broke. They're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So the thermostat is the last thing they're going to spend money on. And it's the very
Nice.
first thing. It's the
Yeah.
very first thing that every single person sees when they walk into the new property. And the
Yeah.
first thing they're going to say is, "Oh, how fancy. Look at you with your Nest thermostat." And then the buyer says, "My realtor gave me that." And then the other person says, "Oh, my realtor gave me a mat. My realtor gave me a set of Ginzu knives."
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny when I first got into this business. So it was probably 5 years in, and you know, I was doing training. I was trying to learn all the techniques, reading the books, and my big thing, and this is embarrassing but true. You know, I would try to give them a 5-star experience. At one point, believe it or not, I actually bought 5starexperience.com, long gone, because it was all about giving them 5-star experience. And then I went to this one coaching program, and it was like they said most 99% of the people who are oriented into giving a great experience ask for the business at the end of the transaction. Here's a novel idea. Ask in the beginning and during the process when you're actually making things happen. And embarrassing, but my mind was like, I'm like, why didn't I ever think about that? You know, I mean, 5 years in the business, I'm like, wow, that's actually a brilliant idea. And it's funny because we all get so occupied in trying to, you know, get that negotiation down to make sure the contract is written correctly, or, you know, covering our backs and making sure we're doing the best for the client, that we forget. It's very easy to forget to do the simple thing of just ask, you know? So anyway, go ahead, Mandana. You're mute, by the way.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 second. My laptop just died on me, even though it was plugged in. I don't know. I don't get it, but it's fine. Just gotta put this in present mode.
So the slide we have: successful transaction defined. To have earned the right to ask and receive a referral before closing.
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, everything's still up. At least
Okay,
on my.
great.
Yeah.
So we talked about, you know, earning the right to ask and receive a referral before closing. Here's some strategies that we came up with that have worked for us. First things first, consistent follow-up system with clients. Now, just to kind of bring the focus back, you know, right now we're specifically talking about how to get more referrals from your clients, right? So consistent follow-up and building that referable experience. So what is your follow-up system? Are you talking to your clients once a week? How's that making them feel? Especially if they are in a part of their like home searching journey that is more urgent. Because some people, you know, you get your client, you talk to them, you do their intake, kind of find out what they're looking for, how much do they make, what's their credit score, and then what's the next step? Sending them to the lender, right? Asking them to say, hey, go get a pre-approval so that we know what we're working off of. And then after, we'll do the home search. So maybe during that process, you don't have to be up their butts, calling them, texting them every day, but maybe you want to check in every maybe once a week, twice a week. Hey, Cassie, did you get that pre-approval? Are you ready to start searching? You're going to do it this week? Okay, I'll check it at the end of the week. You know, figuring out what your system is for each stage of the process. If now you are on the search, you've already gotten the pre-approval, you're already out there looking at properties with them, they're not going to want to hear from you only once a week. They're going to want to hear from you probably 3-4 times a week, hey, Cassie just got this property, think that you'll love it. Let me know if you want to schedule a showing. And then doing that throughout the process, but making sure whatever that system is that you choose, that you're consistent with it and that you're sticking to it. Because
And
I
Mandana,
promise you, they
yeah,
notice.
yeah, and Mandana, we probably have to do another training on this to go more on a more granular level. But I can tell you this: there's two parts of the journey of the transaction. You got the prospect to contract, okay, and then from contract to close. And what you'll find is there's two different frequencies you'll be working at. Usually from the prospect to contract, you want to be more at a quicker frequency, better follow-up. So what I highly recommend, and again, this is just kind of like an overview, a precursor to hopefully some very more in-depth, better trainings, is to come up with a system. And one of the questions I want to ask you guys here, has anybody here on the call heard of doing a power hour? Anybody? Show of hands, digital hands. How do you throw up those digital hands? Where's that at, Mandana? Are you able to throw up
Yeah, you should be able to if you go to more and
under
then
reactions?
reactions.
Give me a thumbs up,
Yeah.
or you know, or a hands up. But so basically, you want to you want to absolutely schedule a power hour. And you know what? This is something, and I am myself to blame. I know the importance of doing a power hour. It's one of those things that are so simple, but yet so difficult to implement. Literally, you take 1 hour a day, okay? Maybe two, the most. And you have a very regimented schedule of what you're going to do. For example, half an hour of that day is going to be calling those clients that are from prospect to contract, following up with them, seeing how they're doing, but being consistent, show them that you care. You know, even if it's just saying, hey, how are you doing? How are things going today? Checking up on them. And then those clients are actually contract to close, those that you're going to want to follow up maybe twice a week, but it's within your schedule. Me as a lender, we have a schedule that we come up with. Mondays, it's me, and I do it for 2 hours. I do it from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Those are my times, except for today because of the training, which I will do it after this call. So from 9 o'clock, I do it for 2 hours, and I take a 10-minute break in between the hours. All right, but I found that doing a power hour, it's, if I haven't done it for 3 or 4 days, I'll go then take a day and I'll do it for 6 hours, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, my brain is fried afterwards, and then I won't do it ever again. I'll do it maybe 3 or 4 days later. So what I find is it's about the how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Small little chunks, 1 hour. If you can only do 1 hour a day, do 1 hour a day. Be consistent. So what I do is on my Mondays, what I'll do is I'll reach out to all the agents that I really want to start working with, okay? And that'll be my time to reach out to them, okay? Tuesdays, what I do is my Tuesdays update. If you have a deal with me, you'll know you'll be getting a call from me. Anybody on this call who's doing a deal, you know you hear from me on Tuesday. You heard from me yesterday. I'm following up, letting you know what's going on, how the transaction's going. And I reach out to everybody on the call as well, okay? Wednesday, I'm reaching out to all my past clients that I've spoken to. And then on Thursday, I'm reaching out to all my pre-approval and lookings, just checking in. Hey, how's the house hunting going? How's it going? So again, I can make this a whole nother training, but this is what I do. And I don't do it for 3, 4, 5 hours. I do it for 2 hours a day, and I'm consistent at it. And as I'm doing that, I'm asking for the business, always asking, showing concern, checking in on them, letting them know, we care about them. And then at the very end, asking for the business. So just wanted to throw that in there about the power hour.
Yeah, you kind of beat me to it. That's one of the things we're going to go over, but
I'm
glad
sorry.
you brought that up. No, I'm glad you brought it up because it goes into what we're talking about. And just kind of jumping off the tail end of what, Joe said, consistency is key. And it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason because there's some truth behind it. Consistency is key. Think about how many times you've seen an ad on Facebook, on Instagram, and you might not, click on that ad the first time, the second time, the third time, even the seventh time, but on the eighth time, you're going to find yourself clicking it. I've done it so many times. There was this ad that came up for me all the time, and I'm not a big makeup person. There was this ad about this, I think it's called, I forget what the name brand's called, but it's some foundation to put on your face, right? And I was seeing these ads all the time. They were consistent. And even as a person with a marketing background, I know how technology works. I know how marketing's, plans work, and, how people strategize the way that they, get our attention. I know that it takes a certain amount of time before someone responds. And guess what? I was still a victim to it, because after like the fourth time during quarantine, I bought that $40 foundation. Granted, it was great, but I did not need to spend $40 on a foundation. Why? Because it was consistent. It was in my face. It was always asking me, is this something that you're interested in? And then eventually I said, yeah, it is. Apparently my credit card loves that foundation. So consistency is key. Number two, being a master at communication. Always answering the phone. And if you're not able to answer the phone, because we're human, we cannot answer every text and every call the second that they come in, making sure that we have a follow-up process for those missed calls, for those missed texts. Are you setting aside a certain amount of time every day to get back to all your voicemails, to get back to all your missed calls? Sometimes I wonder if voicemails are even a thing still, because sometimes I leave people voicemails, whether it's, an agent or a client or someone else in the process. And then I'll eventually get in touch with them after the third time calling, and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't hear your voicemail. I left you a voicemail a week ago. And, we're in a professional business. Those are things that we need to think about, and we're not all going to be perfect at it. There's going to be things that slip under the cracks, but it's making that consistent effort to make sure that those precautions are put into place, meaning those timeframes to get back to our missed calls, those timeframes to respond, those are put into place so that our clients, our referral partners, are just coworkers. They know, hey, I'm here. I didn't fall off the face of the earth, right? Another thing that, another strategy, which, Joe already kind of went into, is asking them about the experience that they're having with you during the experience, not after where there's no room to grow with that client. No, not after where it's too late to make up for that mistake. Every time whatever your system that you follow up with them, throw in a question. Hey, Nancy, just want to check in. How are you feeling during this experience? How are you feeling about the service that I'm providing? Do you have any feedback for me? And not running away from the critical feedback. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's awkward. Sometimes it can make us feel insecure about ourselves and the way that we are presenting our business, but acknowledging that uncomfortability and just breaking through it is the only way that you can grow. You don't grow from being told, hey, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're perfect. Okay, well, then that's it. I just continue being the same professional real estate agent that I am. But when you have that ability to say, you know what, I'm going to put my ego aside and I want to hear the feedback. Be honest with me, Nancy. Is there anything that I could be doing better during this experience to ease your nerves a little better? No? Well, you know what? I'm so happy to hear that. It is my utmost priority to make sure that you are the number one person in this process that is comfortable, that is in the know, and that feels that you are making the right decision for you. And if they say, yes, you know what, to be honest, I feel like every time I text you, you don't really answer. You know what, Nancy, I totally appreciate your honesty. I totally appreciate that. And you know what? I agree. I haven't been doing as great as a job at responding in a timely manner. But you know what? I'm going to assure you that will change. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable to say that, awkward to just face it head on. But think about the times that we're in. We're in the times where people prefer to text than to talk face to face. We're in the times where our desire to interact with people in a face-to-face way is kind of withering away. So how shocking is it for someone to receive a question so straightforward? Hey, what am I doing wrong? You know what? You're right. I'm going to do better. Yeah, it's a little awkward, might feel a little corny, but it's not. It's not. People appreciate that.
But it shows vulnerability, and it shows your humility and your desire to please and give them the best experience. And people feel that, and they feel that genuineness. And that's what it's about.
Exactly. So asking those questions, do you feel taken care of? Are your nerves at ease? And being prepared before asking that question to receive an honest response. Another strategy that I threw in here that sounds small, but remember what we talked about with the wow factor, thinking about the little things. Let's say you have a client that, you know, is concerned about the market right now, and if, you know, it is really the best decision for them to be buying right now. Well, being honest with them is important, but a little thing that you can do is sending them little knowledgeable articles, graphs, etc., about the market or the area that they're looking at. Say that you have a client that wants to move to a specific area, but they're a little concerned about, you know, the school system. They're not too sure about it. Taking that extra step to do a little bit of research. And if you've been on some of our past trainings, you'll know that we have an awesome resource for you to get, you know, infographics out to your clients called list reports. And if that's something that you're interested in, that's just one of the many things list reports offers are infographics for different areas. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you set up on list reports. You know, it's free to all the agents, and it's a great way to find reliable resources about, you know, the market, about the areas that your clients will be purchasing. Sending them a little graph like that. Hey, Nancy, I just came across this article talking about how the market's high, but in the next 2 months, things might be changing. And I know you're not looking to purchase until the next 4 months. So I just wanted to shoot you this article and let you know that, hey, like whenever you're ready, you know, I got your back. I'm going to make sure that you enter the market at the best time possible. That's like, whoa, thanks, Memo, for thinking of me like that. Thank you, Bobby, for thinking about me like that. You have all these other clients and you thought about me when you saw that article. That is what people remember.
Hey, Madonna, can you hear me?
Special, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to cut in. This is Bobby, by the way. I was able to jump in a little bit late. But I just want to say thank you. You're doing a great job. And I wanted to just, what you just said was really, really important, because you're talking about the little things. And it just reminded me of when I was building my referral base. I saw a friend of mine go with his team. They took a bunch of pizzas and they went to a police station. Now, who's one of the biggest, probably most able, ready, willing, and able buyers are police officers, government workers. So they took a stack of pizzas, they went to the police station and say, hey, we appreciate you guys. We wanted to just give this to you, free lunch, you know, and with some gifts and their business cards. Now that right there is a little thing, because it only costs what, $50 and maybe an hour of your time. But I was blown away. I was like, wow, why didn't I think of that? And I was just like taken back. So then, hey, copy success. I went, and this was years ago. I had a couple of doctors as customers, and I went to the hospital where all the nurses were, where he worked at the hospital. He had his own practice, but he also worked at the hospital. And I went there, and I let him know, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. But even if you know someone, if you don't, no one's going to turn away free pizza or anything like that. So I went there with a bunch of food, some cold cuts and pizzas and everything. And I said, hey, to the nurses, the first responders, thank you so much. We went there, we gave it to them. They were very appreciative. Very acceptance of our cards and what we do and everything like that. And that right there, that probably no more than 45 minutes, an hour, and 50, 60, $70 of food. Literally, I had 3 deals, 1 fell through, 2 of them closed. So just from that, and plus I've gotten
doctor loans. Nice loans.
Yes.
Nice transactions.
So the little things like that are huge, and building your referral base, you will get up to a certain point. I remember when I got my referral base up where I didn't need to advertise as much, it felt amazing. It felt so good. So I just wanted to add that, and because that's exactly what you're talking about. And for, I'm hoping people can see the difference that the little things make like that. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Uncle B, for sharing that, because
Yeah.
that's a great story and that's a great idea. And it's the important thing to remember is that there's no time better than right now to think of the little things. You don't have to be at the end of your transaction to say, hey, thanks for giving me your business. I'm going to come bring you pizzas. It can be in the middle of the transaction. Maybe you had a really meaningful conversation with the client and they're a doctor.
Here,
Like Bobby
I
said.
have a great one, just real quick, a great golden nugget for everyone to take away right now. When you're dealing with a client, and if they're getting, let's say they're getting financing, and they are issued a commitment, so they now have their approval. I don't know about you, but many clients, I mean, they're already nervous. They've already moved their furniture in their house. They're hoping nothing goes wrong. They don't have to cancel the moving truck. They're just nervous. They're very on edge about getting the loan approved. That's one of the high points, one of the high anxiety points. Well, the minute they get an approval, you know what a great idea is? Send them a nice big fruit basket or some candy or some food with some flowers and balloons, and don't send it to their house. Send it to their job. Think about it. They get a nice big bouquet of flowers all day, and congratulate them on their loan approval. And guess what? Not only is that going to make them feel good, but other coworkers can be like, what did you just get? What was that for? Is that from your husband? No, this is from my realtor. She's congratulating me on the approval I just got. And then now that opens up conversation and a fantastic.
That's a great idea. And there's so many different
midway through the transaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, I forgot to thank you, Joe, for
part.
sending that to me when I closed on my house. In case I
and there's so
I
many
aim to please, my brother. I aim to please.
And there's so many other ways to do small touches like that.
Right.
Yes, sending a bunch of pizzas and food or a big bouquet of flowers, but hey, let's be honest, maybe some of us aren't necessarily in a place to be able to spending all this money on our clients because we're still at that point where we're building our business. Well, guess what? It's not about the quantity, it's the quality. You could literally send them a chocolate with
a handwritten card.
With a handwritten card, which is what I was just about to say, with a handwritten
I'm
card.
sorry.
And no, it's okay. And they're gonna be like, oh wow, this person went out of their way to write a card, put a stamp on it, and go send it in the post office just to let me know that, congratulations for getting a pre-approval. My gosh, my other realtors in the past haven't done that. I didn't even know getting a pre-approval was a big deal. Well, guess what? To you, it is. To me, it is. And showing them that those little things matter, that's what people remember at the end of the day. And the last strategy that I'll share is being honest. Now, we live in a world where we don't know what's real and what's not. You can turn on the news and think that's real, and then you can turn on another channel and find out it's completely not. And then at the end of the day, you're like, I don't even know who to believe. Well, you have the privilege and the honor of being able to work with these people in such a pivotal stage of their lives on a human level. You're not sending them a YouTube video, hey, check this out. No, you're calling them and you're talking to them, whether it's face-to-face or voice-to-voice. Being honest, being transparent, even if you think it's going to get in the way of you closing that current transaction. Let me tell you what it's going to do. You might not make that money right now, but you'll make that money later. Why? Because that client knows that they can trust you and that you're not here just trying to hustle them for a transaction commission. You're not just trying to close a deal to get more money. You actually care about putting this family in a proper home for their needs. And even to them, the way they think about it is, wow, this person could have totally, they almost had me, could have totally sold me on this, but they decided to be honest with me and tell me not to make a decision like this because I could make a better decision later. that was really humble of that person, man. That person really cares. They don't just care about money. They care about their quality of their experience they provide. They care about their customers. And that's going to make them want to come back to you when they are ready, you know? So if being honest is at the expense of maybe that person not wanting to buy at that moment that they're hoping or that they thought they were ready to buy at, let me tell you, when the time is right for them, they will come to you. And guess what? If the time is not right for them right now, but the time is right for somebody else that they know, they're going to tell them to call you. But why? Because you're asking them to. It's just going back to what Joe's saying, asking them for the business, right? Let me see here. Brings me to my next point. Listen for those moments of gratitude. Listen for those moments where they're like, you know what, Memo, thank you so much for being honest with me and making me realize that maybe I should wait 3 months to purchase. You know, I really thought this was the right decision, but you've really opened my eyes to make me realize that right now is just, it would be a detriment to my finances to be able to do this. And I'm so grateful that you were honest with me. You know what Memo would say? You know what, Nancy, I am so, you know, I'm so happy to be able to provide you with that honesty. You know, at the end of the day, I want you to feel happy. This is your home. This is your livelihood that we're betting on right now. And if you aren't happy with that, then I'm not happy. And you know what, Nancy, you know, I'm so grateful to even be able to work with you. Let me ask you, do you think that, you know, do you have any friends, family or coworkers that might be able to, you know, utilize my services and my and gain my help to purchase a home? Do you know anybody looking for a home? Now, that is so powerful to ask. And again, going back to that level of uncomfortability and that level of awkwardness, it's going to feel nerve-wracking. It's going to feel like you know, when I started making calls like this and talking to clients and asking for business, I felt so awkward. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm 24. I'm just getting into the business. No one's going to want to refer me. They're going to think I'm, you know, desperate. They're going to think I'm needy. They're going to think this and this and that about me. And it made me, you know, when I started breaking out of my shell, and even when I was so uncomfortable and I didn't want to ask for the business, but I said, well, screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just to push myself. And I got that response of, you know what? I'm so glad you asked. Actually, my mom's looking to purchase a home. Her and her husband are looking to, you know, downsize, and they have too much space and they want to move out. Now, that person, the client, Nancy, it's not that she didn't want to refer her mom to me, but she didn't think about it. I'm sure, you know, she didn't
Absolutely
realize,
right.
oh my God, wait, my mom's trying to buy a home too. Why didn't I tell her about it?
And it's
But
funny, Mandana, because, you know, a lot of us professionals, you know, I don't care how long you've been in business. I've been 20 years in business. I still have call reluctance. And you know what? You're a fool if you think you'll never have it. It'll just get less and less and less. The thing is, a lot of us professionals, we think that when we ask, it's, you know, like we're begging for the business. And instead, we need to change our mindset and lean into the fact that we care about them and we want to help out. We want to help more families like them. We want to do a service for them, and we shouldn't feel to get the compensation and what we're getting out of it out of your mind. Because I mean, obviously, we're all into making money, but at the end of the day, we are here to serve them. And I think when it's a paradigm shift, when you're asking for the business and you change it and you frame it in your mind that way, it's much easier to ask for the business.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's so important that we are conscious of our mindset, and we don't allow these limiting beliefs to hinder our ability to grow our referrals, right? To grow our business, to grow our ability to serve.
Mhm.
Awkward. It's uncomfortable to be straightforward, but hey, it's notable because we're living in a digital time. We're living in a digital time where the way you ask someone to be a friend is by sending them a friend request or a follow. That's not what we're here for. We're not here for the social media games and the hoping to get the business. We're here to earn the business. Because think about it that way. If you have any doubts about asking for the business, the way that I thought about it, this is the mindset that I took on that kind of helped me ease my nerves when, you know, approaching these strategies. If I want to earn the business, I'm going to have to work for it. And what is, you know, let's try to take that noun, work for it. What does that mean? I'm going to have to ask for it, because if I don't ask for it, then wait a second, am I just assuming that I'm going to get the business? Am I just assuming that I should have all the business? What kind of person does that make me? No, I'm going to work for the business. I'm going to do the uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't want to ask somebody for the business because I feel weird about it, but screw it. That's the grind that you put in to get the result that comes out. So, and not only that, people look at it as courageous, as very brave, vulnerable. Wow.
And how they're going to be represented.
Exactly. And, you know, the next thing I want to go over.
Hey, Mandana, just before you go on that, you brought up a really good point about the being honest. It's funny you said that, because just yesterday I had this experience where I was working with a client that wanted to refinance. And truth be told, you know, because we always do a refinance analytical report to see whether or not it makes sense. And everybody hears about refinancing. The girl was really leaning into refinancing. And I told her the pros and the cons. And one of the things that I did in mortgages, you're trained to how to frame it where it always works out for the client, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, you want to close on transactions. But I took more, you know, even though I gave her both sides of it, I gave her a very honest opinion, and I really leaned into what does she want to do. And she kind of made me feel like she wants to wait a little bit. And I told her, you know what, that's what you should do. I give you the pros and the cons, you know, you should do that. And I don't want you to feel bad because I spent about good 45 minutes with her, and then probably another 30, 40 minutes preparing everything. And I told her, I said, Janet, listen, if tomorrow or a week from now you tell me you don't want to refinance, I want to make sure you do one thing, promise me one thing. You don't feel bad about letting me know, because you know I'm here to ultimately help you. And when I did that, when I leaned in, of course, I want to do the business. I want to refinance. But when I did that, you know what it did? She says, Joe, that's exactly why I came back to you. And when she said that, I said, well, you know what? That means the world to me. And I really appreciate that. And I tell you what, do you have, you know, is there any other family members that you have that could, you know, benefit from my service, that could need that would need some honest could need some honest opinions and can give you some good advice? And she says, I do actually, and she gave me 2 people to call. So even though now that's a deal, and it's not necessarily dead, she just wanted to think about it, and she wanted to, you know, check out her finances. But that not only could be a deal that I have, but I really leaned into the genuine part of the transaction. It gained her, I built rapport, gained her trust, and now she's referring 2 people to me. So that's just how you can leverage being honest, even if you're losing a transaction. There's a lot of wins and losses. And I think that's another good point of this whole training. But go ahead.
So one of the nuggets of wisdom that I've learned, that I think, you know, I really embodied this phrase when I was in college. As my dad said, you know, I went to Montclair State. I was a television and digital media, you know, major. That's what I got my bachelor's in television production. And there were so many moments in my college career, because with that type of program, right? And I know this is different from sales, but it's relatable, I promise. With that type of program, you're always putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, whether you are behind the camera or in front of the camera, whether you're the director or you're the talent, you are always being put in uncomfortable situations and dealing with angry producers who have very short tempers and no patience at all. And, you know, this phrase of, if it feels weird, you're doing it right. So there were so many times where I would, you know, go out of my way to over communicate a segment that we were doing. And sometimes I felt weird, I'm talking too much, but I saw the spark in the producer's eyes as they were listening to what I was saying. And it made me realize, wait, I'm doing this right. I'm doing what all these other students aren't doing. These other students are going home, working on their projects, and they're not asking questions, and they're not bringing attention to the professors and to the producers. And that's why when it comes time for the show and they're unprepared, they're screwed. But me, I'm asking the uncomfortable situations. I'm going to get if I'm in charge of producing a segment, I'm not going to wait to the day that the show airs to say, hey guys, do you like it? No, I'm going to take all the criticism. I'm going to ask all the questions, even if I'm getting yelled at, you know? So and that's a little different of a circumstance because we're talking about building relationships with our clients, but just kind of taking that same mindset of, you know, it feels weird, it feels uncomfortable, but it's for a good reason. And remembering your motives, remembering your agenda, remembering your why is an important mindset to embody. Because if you think, well, you know, I can't ask because then they're going to think I just want business and I just want their money. Well, yeah, that is what they're going to think if that's how you think about it. If that's how you are, if that's the reality that you are claiming, of course they're going to think that. But if you say, you know what, no. What brings me true fulfillment is knowing that, seeing that smile at the closing table and knowing that that person can go to bed that night feeling so secured in their living circumstances, right? Think about that before you ask for the business, because it's going to come from a much softer, kinder, authentic place in your heart. Taking away those limiting beliefs are so important, And we can talk more about that in another training.
Yeah, but it's funny because I know when I was learning, you know, scripts and how to say things, and you know, I would ask for business, and I would have that mindset of feeling cheesy and oaky, you know, and as I was saying it, I could hear myself feel that way, and that people can feel it on the other end. People can feel that vibe. But if you feel, I mean, if you know that at the end of the day, you provide a great service and you're here to help other people, you know, say, hey, Mr. Jones, I tell you what, it was fantastic working with you. I would love to work with someone else like you, you know, another family. Is there anybody else that you know that is in need, looking to buy, sell, refinance in the next 6 or 12 months that could use our help as we helped you? That I'm speaking in a spirit of genuine concern, you know, and I've never had someone say that was kind of greedy and cheesy to ask me that. Never have had that. Even when I screwed up and sounded weird, I never had someone say, you know, the best was, yeah, I'll call you back. But the more genuine you are, the more genuine they come back to you and say, yeah, you know what, I don't have anybody now, but you know what. And this, you know, sometimes I have, I actually have a coworker that was just talking about it. She was thinking about buying, you know. So you'll get both sides of it. Even if they don't, even if they say, no, you know, I don't, but I'll certainly keep you in mind. So yeah, if you could do me that one favor, you know, can I count on you to think of me whenever if you come across anybody that is ready to buy, sell, refinance in the next 6 months, can I count on you to send me their information? They're going to say
Absolutely.
every single time. Sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. And just jumping right off of that, I know that earlier when we were going through the strategies, they were a little more directed towards clients that you're working with, creating a referable experience. But something I want to throw in there, just because we're talking about how to get more referrals, is your clients are not the only people that are going to be able to give you referrals. It's thinking outside of the box. Going back to what I said before, every single person in America is concerned about their living situation at one point in their life or another. You are that very special person, that very unique person who is the direct link to them getting that proper help to get the home that they want. Find honor in that. Find, you know, gratitude in that. You know, we look at doctors, we look at first responders as, you know, honorable people, and they are by all means, because they're providing a service to help others. Well, what makes you different? What makes you different? You're providing a service to help others in a part of their lives that is very, very important, you know? So remember that. And your clients aren't the only people that you can get referrals from. Think about Think about all of the daily interactions you have with people. Now, I'm not saying go out here and say, I'm a realtor, please help, give me a referral, no. But as you're building other relationships, like Memo said, you're not a realtor, you're a brand. How do you want to brand yourself? Ask yourself those questions. How do you want to brand yourselves when you're going to the post office once a week? Do you want to just be that person that, hi, bye, thank you, let me pay for my package and go? Or do you want to say, hey, Nancy, or let me not say Nancy, I've used that name so many times. Hey, Sarah, how are you today? She's like, how did you know my name? Well, it says it right there in your name tag. Oh, people remember that. Then the next time you come in and you go to the post office and you use Sarah to buy your postage or your stamps or send a package. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. What's new? What you been up to? How's your family? They're going to be like, you don't even know my family. Yeah, but who cares? The fact that you even care to ask them about their personal life goes such a long way. That eventually they're going to ask, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. I love to help people find the dreams of their home, or homes of their dreams, right? Their homes of the dreams of their homes. Same difference, right? That is the opening to a conversation, but you don't have to talk about you. Maybe you're getting in a conversation and for some reason you end up having a reason to tell a story about a success story with your client, right? And it just ties into what you're talking about with Sarah at the post office. And then she goes home and thinks, damn, I kind of want to buy a new house. Me and my boyfriend been stuck in this apartment for 3 years. I think we need to buy a home. The next time you come in, she's going to ask you, or you have the opportunity to ask her, hey, listen, Sarah, I know you mentioned that you are in an apartment with your boyfriend. I just wanted to let you know, hey, listen, the market is great right now, or the market's not great right now. If you are, for whatever reason, looking to buy and you need someone to consult with, feel free to ask me some questions. I'm always in the know about the market. I'm always in the know about the industry. And if you have any questions, just feel free to give me a call. Here's my card. Now, you're not asking them for business. You're telling them, hey, I'm willing to give you some pointers about this industry that you know nothing about, but you're going to need to know a lot about. So it's getting creative. Lenders aren't the only people who can give you referrals. Title agents aren't the only people who can give you referrals. Your broker isn't the only person who can give you referrals. Your clients aren't the only people who can give you referrals. Your mom can give you a referral. Your friends can give you a referral. Somebody at your spin class can give you a referral. Sometimes they don't have to be given to you. Sometimes they're presented. And it's how you leverage your service, your ability to communicate and to share with that person, hey, if you need something, I'm here. Hey, I know we've been friends for a while, and I know that, you mentioned you're looking to buy. Any chance you'd want to work with me and see if I can get you something that you like? I think I really have the qualities to be able to get you what you're looking for. It's just being creative and finding those pockets of moments when you're, connecting with other people to share your ability to help them. So just moving forward, if you want even more referrals, go back, way back. It matters. And what does that mean? So let's just look at this graph right here as, a referral chain. So let's start with Christine. By the way, can you guys see my mouse when I move it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. So let's start with Christine. Christine referred Kelly, right? And Kelly referred Steve and Kevin. And then Steve referred Sarah. And then Sarah referred Mike and Christine. And then Christine referred Roger and Sam to you, right? Well, what I mean by going back is literally going back to the person who referred them. So let's start with Roger. Let's say Roger gives you a call and hey, hey, Memo, my name's Roger. You worked with Christine and I'm looking to buy a house. She referred me to you. Wow, thanks so much. You talk to him, do your process with him. Then you go back and say, Christine, oh my goodness, your brother Roger just gave me a call looking to, get my services to help him buy a home. I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am that you thought of me when, to refer him. out of all the people you could have referred, you chose me. And I just want you to know that that is something that means the world to me. And I honor that. And I just want you to be reassured that I am going to take care of Roger. Christine's going to be like, wow, that was so nice for him to go out of his way to give me a call to let me know. Now, after you call Christine, you know who you're going to call next? You're going to call Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Hey, girl, it's been so long since we've talked. I know it's been a couple months. How's the new house? How's the family? How's the dog? Good? Great. Well, listen, I just wanted to give you a call because you referred Christine, and then Christine referred her brother, Roger. And I just want you to know that you even thinking and considering to refer me to your friends or family, it just meant the world. And because of you, I'm able to now help two more people, two families. Thank you so much, Sarah. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. And I'm so honored to have had the opportunity to work with you. Thank you so much for not only, thinking of me, but allowing me the honor to help two more families. You just don't know what that means to me. And then going back to Steve. Hey, Steve, you will not believe this. Remember 6 months ago when you referred Sarah to me? Yeah, I remember. Well, guess what, Steve? Not only did Sarah refer Christine, but then Christine referred Roger. And because of you, I was able to help 3 more families. You just don't know the joy and fulfillment that brings to me. It is such an honor to be able to get people into their dream home. And I want to tell you that it is because of you that Sarah, Christine, and Roger were able to close on amazing homes.
And you know what, the funny thing is on a subconscious level, they were like, wow, they're referring so many people, it kind of gives them an inclination to join in the party, so to speak.
Exactly.
To keep up. But
Exactly.
they feel that appreciation. They absolutely do feel that appreciation, and especially when
exactly.
You give them
and not to be redundant, but I'm just gonna keep going with it. You go to Kelly, right? Hey, Kelly. Yeah, remember that guy Steve you referred to me? Your coworker. Oh, you don't even work at that job anymore? Well, guess what? Steve referred Sarah, who referred Christine, who referred Roger. Then you're gonna go to Christine, the nucleus of the situation. You're gonna go to Christine and say, and it's gonna sound like crazy, like, you really want me to list 5 people that they refer? Yes, because not only do you want them to realize the impact that they made on your life, but you want them to feel fulfilled that they made an impact on so many other people. Listen, Christine, I know it's been a year since we last worked together, and I just wanted to call you because I am just beside myself right now. I'm just gonna be like, why are you beside yourself? What happened? Christine, you will not believe this. You referred Kelly to me about 10 months ago. Do you remember that? Of course. Well, guess what? Kelly referred Steve, who referred Sarah, who referred Christine, who referred Roger. Christine, it is because of you that I was able to service and help 5 families, which means essentially you changed 5 families' lives. If you hadn't referred Kelly to me, I would have never talked to Steve, Sarah, Christine, or Roger. And it is because of you that I've been able to make their lives, their home living better. And that is so impactful. And I mean, just imagine being the person to receive that call. And after a year of buying your home, realizing, holy moly, I can't believe that I helped that many people. And all I did was just give them a referral of who I knew was trying to buy. And it goes such a long way.
Yeah, another purpose this serves is whenever I get on calls and I talk to some of the agents and other people that we talk to, and we get coaching, and I might be on forums, and I listen to blogs. One of the challenges, who do I call? This gives you an opportunity in this case to call 6 different people, of course, in this case. But I think what I like about going deep is you can really dig into all the people you can reach out to just to thank and show gratitude to, just checking in on them. seeing how they're doing and thanking them. So this will give you a great opportunity to reach out to so many people. If you actually, dig deep into each referral. So it's a great concept.
Yeah. So, you know, doing these types of things, it's not only going to increase your referrals, it's going to strengthen your relationships with current clients, with past customers, with future clients. It's going to strengthen those relationships. And not only calling those people that referred that client, calling the client that is calling you as the referral and saying, wow, Roger, I'm so happy to hear from you. Yes, I loved working with Christine and it was just wonderful. And you know what? I even told her this myself. If I could work with more people like Christine, my life would be perfect. And I'm so happy that I'm getting the opportunity to now work with you. It's giving that honor where it's due, but also giving that honor to the current client. I'm telling you, like your level, your ability to be vulnerable, transparent, communicative, and just real with people and grateful, it goes such a long way. And what you'll notice is the quality of those referrals are so much better than the quality of the cold leads that you're getting. Not to say that the cold leads don't matter, not to say that the cold leads are unnecessary, because they're great. They're great and you get business from them.
Yeah, but by far,
what
you're
we've
right,
seen, but what
Mhm.
we've seen, we get a lot more quality of transactions when they're referral based and not lead based.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and it really depends on how you're running your business, because there's some people in this business, you know, when you're working with leads, you're an order taker, and nothing against anybody who works on leads. So I'm not knocking them, but you know, you can certainly work hard on leads and build up your past customer base to where you then get a nice warmer referral based business. So again, not knocking, it's great for people who are starting out, or maybe it's just part of what they like doing. But there's nothing like a referral based business where you have people that you know and can just connect with and reach out to, check in on them, you know, past customers. I have over, I don't know, probably almost 900, almost 1,000 past clients that I was able to keep track of over the years. So it's so many of them for me to keep, you know, call every week. So what I do is I take one letter of the alphabet, or two letters of the alphabet, one letter of the alphabet, and call them, you know, and call them for that day. And then the next week it's the next letter, just to, again, just check in on them. Say, hey, how you doing? So a lot of times I'm leaving a voicemail, you know, just reaching out to them. And at the end of my conversation saying, hey, if you ever have any questions regarding, you know, buying, selling, I'm here for you. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me, you know? So
yeah,
people really, I've messed up in my career for at least most of my, only in the last recent have I really embraced my past customers. There's many facets of your business, where many revenue streams you have. And one of the lowest hanging fruits where you can get most of your business is from your past customers. I was blown away when I started actually doing that recently in the last few months, because I was so busy with so many other things. And I would literally just take an hour a week reaching out to my past customers. And I can't believe the people who, even if they're not interested, they tell me about, oh, I got a coworker, or I have a cousin, or my nephew, or a niece. And it's just amazing. It's like the unsung hero of not leads, of referrals, warm-based referrals. So,
yeah,
you know, as we close this out, and I know you're going to have open up for questions, but I do know that, you know, I'll challenge anybody. If you take an hour, you know, and just reach out to your past clients, even if it's 4 or 5 years ago, and just ask them, hey, how you doing? Check in on them. How's things going? Chit chat a little bit, you know, let them know, you know,
let them
you
talk
do.
about themselves.
Right. You know, find out about them. Because you know what they say, the most important conversation that anybody wants to talk about or the most important topic anybody wants to talk about is themselves. So, and you know, indulge in that. Talk about them, see how they're doing, and ask them if there's anybody, you know, that they're interested or who they may know, you know.
And just to give, you know, one more example of how this has benefited our team. Not too long ago, I know that, you know, Joe was calling some past clients, just reconnecting, touching base with people, seeing how they were doing. And one of the past clients was a mother that closed with us at least 3 to 4 years ago. I'm sure. And she actually, after her conversation with Joe, said that her son was interested, and his name was also Joe. And I, you know, reached out to the son, introduced myself, did the intake process with him, asked him some questions, try to understand. And I knew that he was referred from a past customer. So I just asked him, I said, you know, it means so much, or and I didn't ask him, I'm sorry. I said to him, I said, you know, it's so appreciated that your mom thought of us and, you know, referred you to reach out to us. And we honor our past customers, and we just honor when they send us any family, friends, or coworkers. And, you know, we're just really excited to work with you and just want you to know that we're going to take good care of you. And he was like, oh, yes. And keep in mind, the son is 21, working 80 hours a week, great credit score. I mean, he was just ready to buy a home. And I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Because he was just like on the ball. But he was so kind in the way that he expressed his mom's experience with us. And he even said, he's like, listen, if my mom trusts you, I trust you. And I said to him, I said, you know what? I really appreciate that. I honor that. And I take that very seriously. But I want to, not only do I appreciate that you trust me because of your mom, but I'm going to continue. Our team is going to continue to prove to you why you can trust us.
Mhm.
He didn't expect somebody to say that to him, but you know, it's just building those relationships, adding that love, adding, you know, you guys ever seen that? I should have added that in here. You ever see that meme of the chef doing the little sprinkle? Anybody ever see that? Anyone raise your hand? No? It's like it's a chef and he like sprinkles salt, like all like fancy. It's sprinkling that salt, not the salt, sprinkling sugar, sprinkling honor, sprinkling kindness, and just gratitude. So
And doing it consistently, because they
absolutely.
say what the money is in the follow-up. You have to continuously follow up. It's great to say something nice to a client or a past customer, you know, but then they don't hear from you ever again. It has to be consistent. So come up with something that you do on a weekly basis that gets repeated every quarter, every 3 months, especially if it's, and I know we're just talking about past clients, especially about those past clients, because that lead that Mandana was just talking about, I wouldn't have received if I didn't call or leave a message letting them know I was thinking about them. Yeah, I have literally recently just reached out to clients that I closed, and this is embarrassing, 16 years ago, okay? And I didn't even know how to like call, but they, you know, something that was told to me, people don't think as much as you as they think they do, okay? As you think they do, okay? Just reaching out, and I've done that. I've reached out to a lot of my past clients, and you know, these are the calls that I'm getting. You know, you're not going to get everybody, and that's fine. People change their numbers. People, you know, moved on. Maybe they don't call you back, but you know, I've gotten a lot of return calls, and just again, it's reconnecting with people and connecting, being proactive by connecting with them. So.
Absolutely. And with that being said, guys, that is the end of our presentation, and just want to open up to questions, comments, maybe some stories. I don't know. Anybody have anything they want to bring to the table, whether it's a question or a concern or a comment?
Yeah, Mandana, you brought up a good point about even their points, because I know there's a lot of people who said they get 50% or 90%, 9 out of 10. So if anybody wants to add what they're doing, I know Memo has shared some of his secrets, but if anybody wants to share their stories or their wins or what they're doing, by all means, please don't be shy. Maybe it'll be something we can all take away from.
Yeah, Boris, go
In
ahead.
my experience, and I myself am not a
Oh.
realtor, but as y'all know, I'm in marketing and things like that. With my experience, it really comes down to, like you were discussing throughout the whole entire training, is actually caring about the people who you're doing business with, right? Care about them as if you care about yourself. Treat their business like it's your own business. And when you do that for other people, that's how you develop raving fans that can't stop talking about you. By you assuming the mind of your client ahead of time, taking initiative even when you're not told to, and just treating them with the proper respect goes a long way nowadays. And that's how I built most of my referral business when it came to the marketing aspect of what I do. So, kudos to the training. You definitely spoke on a lot of truths. And really, I think when it boils down to is people want to do business with people that they like, know, and trust, right? So become likable, become someone who's on top of their mind, and become someone that they can trust. And with that formula, that's the winning formula for success, no matter what industry or business you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Daniel. That was great.
yeah,
And I
thank
agree
you.
100%. Boris, did you want to say something? I saw you raise your hand. Oh, I don't think we can hear you. Are you muted?
Boris, you're on mute, I believe.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, thank you. I was gonna ask you something. I have a situation with a customer. You do financial, right? You're in the financial. Can you hear me? No, not
Yes.
anymore?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I have a question that's not related to what we were talking today, but I'm sure that you can help. What is a non-treat mortgage? Non-PRID mortgage? I have a customer didn't have a loan estimate, and the lender is saying that in non-treat mortgages they don't need to give a loan estimate. Are they right?
No, what?
Non-TRID mortgage. And TRID is like a rule that not everybody has to follow. So it's
You mean
Like a
not,
non-traditional
oh,
mortgage?
you're talking about a non-QM type loan. Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, you still, they have been said that there's some people who say that they don't have to produce that, but usually when you're with a lender that does files of compliance, you're still going to issue a loan estimate, because you want to work in good faith and provide them the documentation, so that they know exactly what type of, what their costs are. But you know what? Feel free to reach out to us online, because that's more specific to the actual mortgage itself. And I put my contact in the chat as well, even though it's on the vendor. So feel free to reach out to me directly. I'll be happy to answer all your questions about that.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
No,
Okay.
great.
Yeah. So but I guess that's going to end the training for today. Thank you guys all for taking taking the last hours or more to be on the training and to listen. We appreciate you, and know that, like I said, we're here. And I'll just follow my own teachings. If you guys have any friends, family, or coworkers that are interested in buying, selling, or refinance in the next 6 or 12 months, please remember us and our team. We'll be happy to help you. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is and asking for the business.
Well,
But
so
again, it
much.
was a pleasure being here, guys.
Yeah,
And thank
so
you,
much
Mandana, for doing such a great job.
Thank
Thanks
you to
so
the
much,
Mahalati team. I
everyone.
appreciate y'all as well. This video is being recorded. This will be in y'all's back office under the education section on your back office. It'll be up there tomorrow. So if you do need to refer to any trainings or previous trainings that we've done in the past, that's where you can go at londonfoster.net under the educations tab. All videos and prior slides will be there. So thank you guys again. And then if y'all want to close out, Mandana, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Appreciate it. Like Joe said, if you have any questions, concerns, or have anybody that you think would benefit from using our service, please reach out to us and we will do everything in our power to take care of them. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and let us know if you need anything.